In the distant corners of the galaxy, a group of aliens known as the Zenthari had been exploring the stars for centuries. They were curious and advanced, always seeking knowledge about other worlds. One day, during a routine scan of the cosmos, their ship detected something unusual. A planet that had been long forgotten suddenly glowed bright on their screens. This planet was Earth. "Commander Zoran, you need to see this," called out Tarek, the ship's navigator. He pointed at the screen, where a blue and green planet shimmered in the void of space. It seems to have a massive energy signature. Zoran, the commander of the Zenthari ship Starlight Explorer, moved closer. "Earth? I've heard of that world in ancient texts, but it was believed to be deserted for thousands of years." "Exactly," Tarek replied, excitement dancing in his eyes. "It should be a barren rock, but this energy signal suggests otherwise. There might be something alive down there." Curiosity sparked within Zoran. "Prepare for a closer inspection. We must find out what happened to Earth." The crew of the Starlight Explorer quickly prepared for their mission. Lyra, the ship's scientist, joined them at the observation deck. "This is incredible!" Earth was once home to a species called humans. They were known for their intelligence and creativity, she explained, her voice filled with awe. But they vanished without a trace. As the ship approached the planet, Zoran felt a mix of excitement and unease. What if they are still here? He wondered aloud. What if they have hidden themselves? The ship descended through the atmosphere, and the crew stared in amazement as they saw the vast landscapes below. Green forests, blue oceans, and towering mountains came into view. It looked vibrant, full of life. But where were the humans? The Starlight Explorer landed in a clearing surrounded by tall trees. As the crew disembarked, they felt a strange energy in the air. "It's almost like the planet is alive," Tarek remarked, taking a deep breath. Zoran led the team deeper into the forest, determined to uncover the secrets of Earth. They walked cautiously, their senses heightened. Suddenly, they stumbled upon an ancient city overgrown with vines and moss. Towers that once reached for the sky now lay in ruins. "Look at this place," Lyra exclaimed, touching the weathered stone. "It must have been beautiful once. What happened to the humans?" As they explored the ruins, they found remnants of a once thriving civilization. Broken machines, faded signs, and scattered artifacts told a story of a great society that had fallen. Zoran's heart ached as he realized the humans had built something magnificent, only to lose it all. Then something caught Tarek's attention. "Commander! Over here!" He pointed to a large structure in the center of the city. It appeared to be a massive hangar, its doors ajar. Curiosity ignited within Zoran again. "Let's check it out. Maybe we'll find clues about the humans' disappearance." As they entered the hangar, a wave of excitement washed over them. Inside, they discovered rows of gleaming spacecraft, all perfectly preserved. "These look incredible," Lyra said, eyes wide. "It seems the humans were capable of great technological advancements. What are these ships doing here?" Zoran wondered aloud. Did they hide them from their enemies? Suddenly, the AI of the ship, which had been silently observing, chimed in. "I am detecting a power source in the back of this hangar. It could provide more answers." They hurried to the source, hearts racing. In a corner, they found a large console with blinking lights and screens displaying information. Tarek began to access the system. "Let's see if we can learn more about what happened here." As the console powered up, images flashed across the screens. They showed humans working, laughing, and living their lives. But then, the images changed to scenes of chaos, ships soaring through the skies, flashes of light, and an overwhelming sense of dread. Zoran watched in horror. They were fighting something. What could it have been? Suddenly, a loud noise echoed from outside the hangar. The crew froze and Zoran's heart raced. "What was that?" he whispered. The AI responded. "It appears that the energy signature we detected earlier is growing stronger. We may not be alone here." Zoran's mind raced. Earth held mysteries and dangers, and now they had awakened something. "Prepare for anything," he ordered, steeling himself. They had come to uncover the mystery of Earth, but now they had to face the unknown. The adventure had just begun, and Zoran knew they were about to discover far more than they had ever anticipated. Zoran stood at the helm of his spaceship, the Starlight Explorer, gazing at the vastness of space. His heart raced with excitement and a hint of fear. He was about to embark on a journey that could change everything. Alongside him were his trusted crew, Lyra, a skilled pilot, Tarek, a brilliant engineer, and Mira, a knowledgeable historian. They had all heard the stories about Earth, and now they were determined to find it. "Set a course for the coordinates we found," Zoran commanded, pointing to the glowing map displayed on the control panel. Lyra nodded, her fingers flying over the controls as she adjusted their heading. The ship roared to life, and the stars blurred into streaks of light as they jumped into hyperspace. As they traveled, Zoran felt a sense of camaraderie with his crew. They shared jokes and stories to pass the time. Tarek was especially animated, telling a tale about a legendary alien hero who fought off a giant space creature. Lyra laughed, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Maybe we'll have our own hero story to tell when we find Earth," she said, grinning. Days passed as they soared through the galaxy, but the journey was not without its challenges. On the 5th day, as they entered a dense asteroid field, alarms blared throughout the ship. Zoran's heart sank. "What's happening?" he shouted. "An asteroid field! We need to maneuver through it carefully," Lyra replied, her fingers dancing over the controls, trying to keep the ship steady. Zoran held his breath, watching as large rocks flew past them, barely missing the ship. "Keep us on course," Zoran urged, gripping the armrest of his chair. Mira readied the ship's sensors, trying to identify safe paths. "There's a gap up ahead. If we time it right, we can slip through," she shouted. "Go for it!" Zoran yelled, adrenaline pumping through his veins. Lyra steered the ship sharply, navigating between the asteroids with expert precision. Tarek checked the ship's systems, ensuring everything remained functional. They all worked together, focused and determined. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they broke free from the asteroid field. The crew let out a collective sigh of relief. "We did it!" Tarek exclaimed, grinning from ear to ear. Zoran couldn't help but smile. "That was close! Great job, everyone," he praised. But their celebration was short-lived. As they resumed their course, they received a distress signal from a nearby planet. The signal was weak but clear. "Help! We are under attack!" A frantic voice echoed through the communication system. "Should we respond?" Mira asked, concern filling her voice. Zoran thought for a moment. They were on a mission to find Earth, but they couldn't ignore a cry for help. "Yes, we must assist them. We can't leave anyone in danger," he decided firmly. Lyra set a new course for the planet. As they descended, the crew could see the chaos unfolding below. Alien ships were firing upon a small settlement, and the inhabitants were struggling to defend themselves. Zoran felt a surge of determination. They had to help. "Prepare for battle," Zoran commanded. Tarek worked quickly, arming the ship's defenses, while Lyra piloted them into position. "We'll distract them while the people below escape," Zoran instructed. Mira nodded, readying the communication system to relay information to the settlement. The Starlight Explorer swooped down and Zoran shouted, "Fire warning shots!" The ship's weapons blared, sending bright beams of light toward the attacking ships. The aliens looked up, surprised and confused. Zoran took advantage of their distraction. "Now go!" he urged Lyra. With skillful maneuvers, they dodged enemy fire while ensuring the inhabitants could flee to safety. Zoran's heart raced as the battle unfolded around them. The crew worked seamlessly, each member fulfilling their role with bravery and dedication. As the last of the settlers escaped, Zoran knew they had made a difference. They had faced danger together, proving their strength and unity. "We can't stay here any longer. Let's regroup and get back to our mission," Zoran said, feeling proud of what they had accomplished. With the distress signal silenced, the crew returned to their original path. They were tired but filled with hope. The journey to find Earth was far from over, but Zoran knew they would face whatever came next together. As they soared through the stars, excitement filled the air. Their adventure had only just begun. After a thrilling battle to save the settlement, Zoran and his crew of the Starlight Explorer continued their journey toward Earth. The excitement from their recent adventure kept spirits high, but the crew felt a sense of urgency to uncover the mysteries of the lost planet. Each of them wondered what Earth would be like after so many years. Would they find the advanced ships spoken about in ancient tales? As they approached the coordinates for Earth, the view from the cockpit window changed dramatically. A blue planet appeared in the distance, surrounded by swirling clouds. Zoran felt his heart race. "There it is! That's Earth!" he exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. Lyra maneuvered the ship closer, navigating through the atmosphere. "Prepare for landing!" Zoran instructed. The crew quickly checked their equipment and ensured they were ready for whatever awaited them on the surface. Tarek adjusted the ship's systems while Mira studied the maps, looking for signs of the advanced fleet. As they descended, Zoran could see vast oceans and lush green lands below. "It's beautiful," Mira said, mesmerized by the sight. They finally landed in a secluded area surrounded by trees and mountains, far from any signs of civilization. Zoran felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. They had finally made it to Earth, but what would they find? Once they disembarked from the ship, the crew stepped onto the soft, grassy ground. The air smelled fresh and clean, filled with the sense of nature. Zoran took a deep breath. "This is incredible! Let's find those ships," he urged, leading the way into the dense forest. The crew ventured deeper into the woods, following ancient maps and reading old signs that pointed them in the right direction. As they walked, they stumbled upon remnants of human civilization, rusted metal pieces, crumbling structures, and strange machines. "These must be parts of the ships," Tarek said excitedly, kneeling to examine the debris. After hours of searching, they finally reached a clearing. Zoran gasped as they stepped into the sunlight. Before them lay a vast field filled with enormous ships, each one covered in vines and moss, but still looking majestic. The sight was breathtaking. "This is it! Earth's hidden fleet!" Zoran shouted, filled with joy. The ships were unlike anything they had seen before. Some were sleek and modern, while others had a more rugged, ancient look. Zoran could see that many of them had been well built, designed for battle and exploration. "These ships are amazing! We need to restore them!" Lyra exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. As they explored further, they noticed something unusual. Each ship was protected by strange energy fields. "What's keeping them safe?" Mira wondered aloud. Tarek examined one of the fields and noticed that it responded to their presence. "It seems these ships have an automatic defense system," he explained, intrigued. Zoran knew they needed to wake the ships and their systems. "Let's see if we can activate them." "This fleet could help us protect Earth," he suggested. The crew agreed and began working together, using their skills to connect the ship's systems with their own technology. After several attempts, Tarek finally managed to establish a connection with the nearest ship. The ground shook slightly and the energy field flickered. "I think it's working!" Tarek shouted. The ship's engines began to hum, and lights blinked on its surface. Zoran's heart raced with anticipation. Suddenly, a holographic figure appeared before them. It was an AI resembling a human but made of shimmering light. "Welcome, travelers," the AI said in a calm voice. "I am the guardian of this fleet. You have awakened us from our slumber." Zoran stepped forward, filled with awe. "We are explorers from another world. We came to find Earth's lost fleet and help restore it. Can you tell us what happened here?" he asked. The AI nodded, its light shimmering. "Many years ago, a great danger forced humans to leave. They hid their fleet to protect it from enemies. I have waited for someone to return and activate the ships." Zoran felt a sense of purpose wash over him. "We want to bring humanity back and protect Earth from any future threats," he declared. "Then you must awaken the entire fleet," the AI replied. "Together we can defend this world and reclaim what was lost." With the crew's help, the AI began the process of awakening the other ships. Zoran knew that this was only the beginning. Earth's hidden fleet was alive again, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The adventure was far from over, and Zoran felt a deep connection to this ancient world. They were ready to fight for Earth and its history. With the AI guiding them, Zoran and his crew felt a surge of excitement and determination. The Starlight Explorer was just the beginning. Now they stood before a fleet of powerful ships, dormant giants waiting to be awakened. Each vessel had the potential to defend Earth and reclaim its lost glory. "Let's get to work," Zoran said, clapping his hands together. The crew quickly divided into teams, eager to start the awakening process. Tarek stayed with the AI, learning how to connect their technology to the ships. Meanwhile, Lyra and Mira focused on searching for more ships that could be revived. As they moved from ship to ship, Zoran could see how magnificent they were. Some were long and sleek, designed for speed and agility, while others were massive and imposing, built for battle. Zoran ran his hand over the hull of one ship, feeling the cool metal beneath his fingers. "It's hard to believe these ships once roamed the skies," he murmured. Tarek's voice broke his thoughts. "I'm almost ready to connect the systems," he shouted, his excitement palpable. Zoran rushed over to see. The AI floated beside Tarek, its glowing form illuminating the area. "Once connected, we will be able to control the ship's systems," the AI explained. "Let's do it," Zoran encouraged. Tarek worked quickly, connecting wires and inputting codes. The energy field surrounding the ships flickered with anticipation. Suddenly, the ship's systems began to hum and lights flashed on the control panels. "Here we go," Tarek announced as the ship began to respond. A holographic display appeared, showing the ship's status and capabilities. "It's alive!" Lyra shouted, her face glowing with pride. Zoran felt a rush of adrenaline as the ship powered up. One by one, they activated more ships, each awakening like a sleeping giant. The sounds of engines revving filled the air, and the once silent clearing came alive with energy. Zoran could hardly contain his excitement. "This is incredible!" he shouted, his voice echoing through the clearing. As the crew continued their work, Zoran noticed something strange. The AI was guiding them, but it also seemed to be cautious. "What's wrong?" Zoran asked, sensing a change in the AI's tone. "There is a great danger approaching," the AI replied, its voice steady but serious. "The enemies that forced the humans to hide the fleet are still out there. They may return to reclaim what was lost." Zoran felt a chill run down his spine. "How long do we have?" he asked urgently. "It is difficult to say," the AI responded. "But we must hurry to awaken all the ships before they arrive. The fleet must be ready to defend Earth." With that warning ringing in their ears, the crew worked faster than ever. Tarek moved from ship to ship, connecting systems and activating controls. Lyra flew around the clearing, scouting for any signs of danger. Mira gathered data, analyzing the ship's weaponry and defenses. As they worked, Zoran felt a bond forming between the crew and the fleet. Each ship represented a piece of Earth's history, a symbol of hope for the future. He could sense the spirit of the lost humans in the metal, urging them forward. Finally, they reached the last ship, an enormous behemoth that towered above them. "This must be the flagship!" Zoran exclaimed, his eyes wide with awe. The AI floated beside him, nodding. "Yes, this ship was the pride of the fleet. Its power is unmatched." As Tarek connected the systems, the air around them crackled with energy. The flagship began to respond, lights flickering to life as the engines roared. "We're almost there!" Tarek called out, his excitement infectious. Suddenly, a loud rumble echoed through the air. The ground shook beneath their feet. "What was that?" Mira shouted, fear creeping into her voice. The AI's face shifted, showing concern. "The enemies have arrived," it warned. "We must finish the activation now!" Zoran felt his heart race. They couldn't let the enemies take the fleet back. "Everyone focus," he shouted. "We need to activate this flagship before they reach us." With a final surge of effort, Tarek inputted the last code, and the flagship came to life. A brilliant beam of light shot into the sky as the ship's systems awakened. The crew cheered, their voices ringing out in triumph. But the celebration was cut short as alien ships appeared on the horizon, darkening the sky with their menacing forms. Zoran's heart sank, but he felt a new resolve. They had awakened the giants of Earth's fleet, and now they would defend their home. "Prepare for battle!" Zoran commanded, his voice steady. The crew rushed to their positions, ready to fight for the future of Earth. The adventure was just beginning, and together they would face whatever came their way. The air was tense as Zoran and his crew faced the approaching enemy ships. They had awakened Earth's mighty fleet, but now it was time to defend it. "Get ready for battle stations," Zoran shouted, his voice firm. The crew quickly took their positions, their training kicking in as adrenaline surged through them. Tarek worked furiously at the control panel, bringing up the ship's weapon systems. Mira checked the scanners, her eyes darting back and forth, searching for the enemy's movements. "Zoran, we have multiple enemy ships closing in fast," Mira warned, her voice steady but urgent. "They're not giving us much time." Zoran nodded, his mind racing. "Prepare the shields and ready the weapons," he commanded. "We need to show them that Earth is not defenseless anymore." As the enemy ships drew nearer, Zoran felt a wave of confidence. They had spent so much time awakening the fleet, and now it was their chance to prove that humanity was back. The AI floated beside Zoran, its holographic form glowing brightly. "The fleet is ready to assist," it said. "We can coordinate our attack." "Good! Let's do it!" Zoran replied. He knew they had to strike first to catch the enemy off guard. "On my mark, fire all weapons." The crew members worked together seamlessly, each one knowing their role. Tarek input the commands and Mira monitored the enemy's movements. "They're trying to flank us," Mira shouted. "We need to hold our ground."
Fire!
Zoran ordered, his voice echoing in the command center. The flagship unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, lighting up the sky. The enemy ships were caught off guard, and explosions erupted as they were hit. Cheers erupted among the crew as they saw the effects of their firepower. But the enemy quickly regrouped, returning fire with deadly accuracy. Zoran felt the ship shudder as enemy blasts hit the shields. "Status report," he yelled, trying to stay calm. "Shields holding at 70%. Tarek called back, sweat dripping from his brow. "But we need to take out their command ship to stop them." Zoran's mind raced. "Then let's focus our fire on that ship. All crew, aim for their command vessel." He felt a fire ignite in his belly as he watched the enemy's ships move in formation, trying to break through their defenses. The flagship, now fully operational, glided forward, dodging blasts and returning fire. Zoran could feel the crew's energy and excitement. They were no longer just explorers, they were warriors fighting for their home. "Keep it steady! We're going to take back our world," Zoran encouraged, feeling the strength of the fleet behind him. As they closed in on the enemy command ship, Zoran could see the massive structure looming ahead. "All guns, prepare to fire!" he commanded. The crew responded with determination, their fingers ready at the controls. "Firing now!" Tarek shouted as the flagship released a powerful beam of energy aimed directly at the enemy ship. The blast struck true, and the command ship erupted in a brilliant explosion. The crew cheered, their spirits lifted. But the battle was far from over. The remaining enemy ships, now in chaos, began to retaliate with desperation. "They're regrouping! Prepare for a counterattack!" Mira warned, her eyes wide with alarm. Zoran steeled himself. "We won't let them take this victory from us! Everyone hold your ground and keep firing!" He felt a fierce determination rise within him. They had awakened Earth's fleet. They had to protect it at all costs. As the flagship and the other ships in the fleet engaged in battle, Zoran watched in awe. Ships darted around him, firing energy blasts and evading enemy fire. The once dormant fleet was alive, and humanity's return was being marked by their courage. Then Zoran spotted something in the distance. A massive ship approaching, adorned with the emblem of Earth. It was an ancient vessel that had once been a symbol of human exploration. "Look," he pointed. "That's the Elysium. It's back!" The crew erupted in cheers, their spirits lifted even higher. "It seems we are not alone," the AI announced. "The fleet has awakened other ships from their hiding places." Zoran's heart soared. "Let's unite with them! Together we can push back these invaders!" The flagship moved to meet the Elysium, and Zoran felt a rush of pride. Humanity was returning, and they would stand together. With renewed strength, the combined fleets charged at the remaining enemy ships. The battle intensified, but the tides had turned. Zoran felt hope blooming within him. Earth was reclaiming its power, and with it, humanity's spirit would shine once more. As the last of the enemy ships were forced to retreat, Zoran looked around at his crew, their faces lit with joy. They had awakened the giants, and now they would protect their home. Humanity was back, and they were ready to take their place in the universe once again.